Hello, we are back with another great guest, a very great friend and a very good person. Is going to share his inspiring story. Every every entrepreneur has an inspiring story, and his story is absolutely incredible. What he's doing is absolutely incredible as well. I've seen the business proposal. I've seen the projections. I've seen his business model. It's 100% a great initiative. And he'll share more about his story, share more about what he's going to do, share about what he's doing at the moment to impact people. And we were just talking about this podcast. Obviously, it's all about like sharing inspiration to fight the fine fight of entrepreneurship. Matteo was saying that he has a newsletter declaring war on business failure. So we're very much aligned. Great to know you, Matteo. Thank you for your time. Of course, for those of you who don't know us, we're the Social Tiger. We help you grow your LinkedIn. We get you inbound leads. We get you traction, meaningful connections, and it's all about meaningful connections who you want to collaborate with your business and who you are aligned with to grow and impact and help more people. And that is true alignment and that's true impact on LinkedIn specifically. We've had some great guests. We have some great guests in the future. Please check out the great guest Tanner Chidester from a couple of weeks back, 115 million in sales in 4 years. We had the copywriter for Grant Cardone here, who was in charge of his email campaigns. Also, who is Ryan Pineda's client, or no, Ryan Pineda is her client right now. And so Ryan Pineda is an eight-figure coach as well. So absolutely amazing guests. In the future, we are going to have Russell Brunson's close confidant and actually coach as well, Chris Voss, on this podcast as well. So lots of great podcasts. Let's focus on this one. This is going to be a great one as well. So, Matteo, please let us know your story, what you do, and how you impact and how you continue to impact people.
Oh, first of all, thank you very much for having me, Jordan. It's really a pleasure to be here today. Yeah, we were, talking about really what is the real mission for this newsletter, which is called the Exponential Blueprint. And the mission is really we declare a war against business failure. Why?
That's true.
Why?
I like that. I like that.
Why is that important? Because when a business fails, especially when it's not necessary, really, when it's there are so many reasons why business fail. But when a business fails, especially when you have a profitable scale up, which happens a lot, yeah. So there's so much to lose for all of us. We lose jobs, we lose innovation, we lose the products we buy, we lose the services we love. So that's really the mission. I'll tell you a bit about my story. Effectively, I'm a CFO by trade. I've been 30 years in finance now.
Wow.
The last 17 years as a
Amazing.
chief financial officer. Yeah, I've been in a number of situations. The most different one you can imagine. I've been working for blue chips, big
Mm,
projects, hundreds of millions, but also for startups where you have to cover a very different role than you do in a blue chip. So, for example, when
yeah.
in a blue chip company, it's more about optimizing. It's more about do we buy back the shares with the extra cash we have,
Yeah. Exactly.
or do we invest in another project? While in a startup is so different because it's about really survival stage, really. So yeah, it's a very different type of behavior. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's what I'm a CFO by trade. I've been in several sectors. Last big well, small situation. I mean, it was for a medical technology business, $7 million that um, we funded for which was a loss-making business, and then we turned it into a profitable business with a very high valuation. Yeah, there are so many stories in my career, but I thought I would give you this one because it's much closer to the worlds of small businesses, really. So, yeah, helping startups a lot in the last few years, in particular. Yeah, helping with really attracting investment, especially. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Well, as a chief financial officer in many, I mean, that is amazing experience, and obviously, um, like my experience is in sales and marketing. I've been marketing and in sales for 25 years now, and lets you know a little bit about my age, but that's okay. It's all right.
Experience, though. Experience is good. Yeah.
Experience is good. Experience
Yeah.
is good. So, um, yeah, I mean, you draw on your experience. You know outcomes if you go down certain uh, ways, and if you've done it before and you've succeeded, well, then you just copy the same process. But what I find, it's all about exploration. It's all about like continuously learning as well, right? Even even though I'm 47 years old, I continue to learn. From I can learn from a person 20 years old who has a different skill set. I can learn
Me
from
too.
people
We
25.
all
I can learn
we all
from
do that. Yeah.
uh, I learn from my 14-year-old son Mateo all the time about technology and about like a lot of things that he knows that I don't, obviously. So it's all about like growth. It's all about like, and this helps us to continue in business. And so along those lines, Mateo, what kind of like struggles have you had when finding your way, in those moments where you say, I need to make this work? What motivates you to continue?
Well, in my view, the key reason why many people succeed is because they have a passion to solve a problem. Yeah. Now, when you start with that passion, then you tend to find a solution, and then as you find the solution, you will learn that you need to adapt continuously. Why is that? Is because each business is really unique. You can never tell, oh, I found a solution for this business. I'm going to copy and paste for another business, and that's it. I discovered something. It just doesn't work like that. Yeah. However, when you find your playbook, shall we say, because there are certain things that are always constant. Yeah. So yeah, for me, the path towards success is first of all, the first step is passion to solve a problem. Second one, you craft a solution which is a lifetime solution for your customer. It's not
Okay.
transactional. Yeah. So it's not based on, okay, well, it's going to cost me $20. I'm going to sell it for $50. Whatever it's going to cost you, you're going to sell the value, not just the profit. Yeah. So you need to deliver value. So after you've done that, after you discover that solution, then it's really about creating your management team, because that's what investors love. They love to see a business that can work with a a skilled team that
Yeah.
works without the owner. Now
Oh yeah.
that's the should we call it, that's the true successful scale up, which we don't see, unfortunately, too much, because we tend to find, for reason that obviously we all know, we tend to find control obsessed founders.
Yeah.
They are not educated about wealth creation; they're more educated about wealth management. So it's about preserving. I'll just give you an example. The best success story in my career have been with employee share scheme, where the founders effectively they share the wealth, with employees, and the employees they work really, really well, and that eliminates all those mindset problems, all those motivation. It will increase productivity. So yeah, it's about really getting that passion and then transferring that passion to others. Really, that's the way I try to solve problems.
Wow, that's great, and that goes into like leadership, of course. That goes into like inspiring your employees if you have employees. If you are an employee, you got to give your best. You got to choose an employer that inspires you, right, to
Yeah.
continue. And so along this way, I just want to get into like your recent venture right now, and can you explain a little bit about what you're doing right now, your new business, or how you've gotten investors for your new business as well?
Hmm.
Because a lot of business owners are like lost about how to get investors, how to like really scale up in that way.
Yeah, I mean, what I would say is an investor does not necessarily just want a pitch deck, you know. An investor wants two things: confidence and clarity. Now,
Okay.
usually, when they ask for confidence, they invariably ask for financial intelligence in business.
Yeah.
So, uh, so what is the solution for an entrepreneur who's looking for money? Well, that's effectively using financial intelligence as much as possible, showing the investor that the money will be managed well, that there is a path towards wealth creation. Now, too many of us are educated about wealth management, yeah. So the missing up is really wealth creation, you know, which is why I try to speak about this on the my newsletter, the exponential property. Now, there's one particular question that I get asked by entrepreneurs a lot. You know, they ask me, where do I start?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the
That's a good
answer
question.
is the answer is very surprising sometimes. You know, the answer is start with what you already have, because most of the time,
Yeah.
uh, entrepreneurs do not know that they already own intellectual property. Now, intellectual property monetization is a subject that, especially in Europe, yeah, we find it. Many people don't find it very comfortable. Well, if you go to the USA, people they know so much more about it. But effectively, intellectual property is monetization is the greatest wealth creator for all entrepreneurs, and this is what I concentrate on, because whether it's going to be the creation of a brand, whether it's going to be the way in which you sell, whether it's going to be the way in which you distribute, there has to be something unique, a unique value creation that you own for your customer. So attracting investor is about really convincing them that you can monetize your, let's call it the unique selling point, you know, just to make it simple for many people to understand. But it's really about showing that the system works very well. I hope I
Okay.
answer your question.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. Just like really processing the right kind of way to do it, and it's really like connecting with the right kind of people who share your vision. So 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 essentially, like I feel like a lot of people, like you said, like where do I start? Like what do I do, right? And so it's all about like getting people who share your vision as well, who get
Mhm.
excited. Now, do you have any tips about how to find the right people? Because of course, if someone throws millions of dollars in your face or 100,000, you'll be tempted, like, okay, let's go, let's do it. You invest and let's get started. But then you're like, is this a really good person to be investing in my business? Like, how do you figure that out, Mateo? Do you think?
Well, you're asking me for tips. Yeah. I mean, there are many tips because there are so many unique situations. However, there are some situations that really are, they really, that you can find them in every business, you know. So well, I'll just give you 3 or 4 tips really. The first one is know your numbers, you know. Now, even if you cannot, even if it's too early stage to employ a CFO, you don't hire a CFO if you're still validating your concept, for example, or you may just use a CFO for a few hours a month, maybe. Know your numbers. You do not need to be a financial wizard. Don't forget that finance is your friend, is not your enemy, okay? Because many people think, oh, finance, oh my God, I'm so scared about finance. No, finance is your enemy. So it's not your enemy, it's your
Yeah,
friend, obviously.
exactly.
So just you know, I won't say fall in love with numbers, you know, with spreadsheet, but at least, you know, try and keep track of everything you do.
Yeah,
Don't be too
exactly.
optimistic about selling too early, and sell before you build. Okay, so don't
Mm,
just hire too fast. Don't just spend the investors' money so quickly
yeah.
before you're sold. I've done it so many times myself. I stopped so many times entrepreneurs spending too quickly. I said, no, wait.
Oh
First, you need
yeah.
to ensure. And most importantly, it's a golden ratio. I call it. Is called the lifetime value versus a customer acquisition cost. Make sure that when you acquire your customer, the lifetime value you earn from that customer is at least 3 times the acquisition cost
Ooh,
for that customer.
nice.
Yeah.
Good.
Now, if it's less than one, for example, you're losing money. You're gonna potentially fail quite quickly. So just make sure that when you price, uh, you know, what you sell, first of all, you price for value and not for cost. Yeah. But make sure that you never miss that target. Okay. That's these are some of the tips I would give. Yeah.
Yeah. No, most definitely. It's just like amazing and just like really taking the moment, right? And just as you said, don't spend your investors' money too quickly,
Hmm.
right? Just like develop a plan, and and always like try to be initiating conversations. Try to keep them in the loop, because
Speak to the
these
banks.
investors, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Speak to the banks. Speak to the investor all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, because these investors are just like maybe testing the waters, right?
Hmm.
And if they are in line with what you do, and if you like them, because you have to like your investors, they might even invest more in you, right? And then grow your business even more. So yeah, awesome, absolutely amazing. I think this is a
It's about
very
confidence. Yeah.
important. Yeah.
It's about confidence and clarity. The more confidence you give and clarity is not a pitch deck. You don't have to sort of, you know, just do a pitch deck. Just give them confidence. Yeah. That's what they need. Yeah.
Okay. So that's great. Let's go in about like get like really detailed about like finances for sure, right? I mean, you have a financial background, and many business owners. Well, you know, um, I did take a financial accounting 6 month course, but obviously I'm not an expert like you, right? My expertise are sales and marketing, but 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 it's like really digging deep, and I'd say the more financial capability that you have, the more clarity that you're able to give, right? People who are trying to invest in your business. So, any like let's say if a business owner is trying to get clarity about more financial and more like trying to research and try to like really get this picture of his business, like, and doesn't know where to start, where can you start getting that financial clarity that will ultimately bring confidence to your investors?
Yeah. I was gonna say initially you don't need to be a financial expert to, you know, to keep track of what's happening in the
Yeah.
business. start with just with a simple spreadsheet. That will work.
Oh yeah.
What I would say is, whatever you do, track everything, absolutely everything, because it's so easy to underestimate. Yeah, what's going to cost you to be in a business. Yeah, so start from there. Now there are two very delicate phases when you start. Yeah, so you got the concept and got the validation. Okay, now between concept and validation, you should not really approach an investor, because an investor will want to see a validation first. So the quick advice I would give to any entrepreneurs who's bootstrapping, starting from zero effectively, is no distraction for no distraction from what is going to create revenue for this quarter. Okay, because anything else that is distracting you is taking you away from the main goal, which is to absolutely go from concept to validation. Once you got the validation, then you know that you may start to have intellectual property. You may start to own something, that the investor may be willing to invest in. Now, it's the key moment is before you approach an investor, make sure that if you cannot afford the CFO, for example, because obviously you might not have the money, at least make sure that you got some guidance, because sometimes it's happened a lot in my career to say, when you don't have a CFO, an investor will impose their own CFO to you, which is going to be tough, because it will sound like someone is controlling everything you're doing. So that's why
Good
it's
point.
important. Yeah, at that
Yep.
moment,
Important.
try and hire at least a fractional CFO, or I got a CFO program which is designed for those who cannot afford a fractional CFO. But the key is really be concentrated, concept validation, deployment. Yeah, and with investor money, with confidence, clarity, you will be able to achieve your goal.
Wow.
So that's in a few words. Yeah, although each
Yeah.
situation is different. Yeah.
Well, absolutely gold tips. Um, we have someone in chat there. Oh, right there. There's Mark there. Adapting is key. It's easy to replicate when done. Learning is key for sure. And, and for the over 15 people who are watching right now, please light up the chat if you have any questions for Mateo. Again, he's got like a lot of experience in finances, a lot of experience with getting investing, investors, and just like amazing traction that he's having in his own endeavor right now, and getting investors for his own company right now that he's starting, and continue to get more traction and growth and getting more in investing. So I just want to share. I just wanted you to share a little bit about what you're doing now. Like, what kind of business are you focusing on right now, Mateo?
Yeah, I'm currently active on mergers and acquisition. We are buying business on behalf of an investor. We're spending more than 100 million each time. So that's the current situation with that particular activity. So, for example, today I had 2 meetings. 5 hours ago, I had some meetings. I met the companies that we want to buy. I met the investors. So we're just laying down the preparation for the due diligence. Another activity I'm carrying out is with a company in cybersecurity. So we are at the moment looking to break into the market with an advanced technology, and also advising on renewable energy, which has been my sector for the last 17 years, really. Matching investors with entrepreneur. So, for example, we got a package which is very large at the moment. One is for $5 million, and another one is for much bigger, is for $35 million. So those are the activity. In the meantime, all those who wants to be in touch with me, there is a newsletter which is called the Exponential Blueprint,
Okay.
which only started in January, and we went from 0 to 29,000
Wow.
subscribers. It's free, by the way, so they just, it doesn't cost anything. You just have to,
Congratulations.
you have to subscribe. so,
Amazing.
so you can definitely read me every week there on the Exponential Blueprint. For example, on Wednesday, which is yesterday, actually, just 24 hours ago, I wrote about one of the success story from one of the subscribers, who
Okay.
did a $10 million deal.
Wow.
And the other thing is, that I got a YouTube channel as well, which is growing really
Nice.
fast. On top of the LinkedIn account, of course, so on YouTube, if you like to watch some educational video, I met with some really superpower and intellectual property last week from the United States. I highly recommend you watch. His name is Jim Joyce.
Okay.
I'm so lucky that I met him because he gave me so much information about so much education, more than information actually about intellectual property, because intellectual property for me is one of the main things that people need to tap into to create wealth.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Wow. A lot of endeavors, eh? Wow, that's super great. It keeps you busy, right? And the more that you give your experience, the more that you give your wisdom on these things, the more people are impacted. And so that's specifically the way it is on LinkedIn. Uh, Collaborators and that like a lot of our income also, Mateo, comes from collaborations on LinkedIn. You know, it's people that we didn't really think of, but then we're like, hey, we meet on chat, we vibe, we're like, whoa, and then they're on a three-way chat with us, and they're like, okay, I want you to meet and so and so becomes their client. So
Let me tell you
it's like a
something.
small world, right?
Let me tell you something, Jordan. All the activity I described to you before, the activity I described you, the mergers and acquisition, which I'm doing right now, the matching equity investor with developer, they all come from LinkedIn, by the way.
Oh,
So basically, it's all people I met on LinkedIn.
yeah, good job, good
We
job,
we
man.
don't approach people
It's
by selling
amazing.
anything.
Yeah.
We don't sell anything. We just get in touch, we talk, we help each other, and eventually we do a business. Obviously,
No, wow.
I get paid for
Yeah,
the work I do, but
that's
it
the
doesn't mean that
best.
I don't need to sell anything effectively.
Yeah. That and that's definitely the best way of like eventually selling, right? Is because yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say that there's plenty, Mateo. I would say maybe about 5 to 10% of the people that I meet on chats I would never do business with, even though they have money and they're willing to invest in our solution. I just don't want to work with them. And hopefully they're not watching right now. You know who you are. No, just kidding. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. But yeah, it's just like getting to choose who you work with and seeing who you chat with, if they're aligned with your vision, if they're aligned with what you do. A lot about a lot about what me and Mark do is about family, because we view family as a very important, because Mark has a 2-year-old son and I have a 14-year-old boy, and we've created a lifestyle where well well, I live in Mexico. I'm from Vancouver. I live in Mexico. I work
Nice.
1 to 3 hours. I work 1 to 3 hours in on my business on LinkedIn from 5 days a week, because we have a team. We're growing to a team of 10 soon. So just like the traditional, like you said, like this shows what you know, what you're talking about, because just like like you said, how to scale, right? Like the business owners just do minimal, and then they have their team do what they want, and they direct their team. They make sure the quality is good, and so on with their strategy, right? So yeah, it's all about like learning from others, learning who to collaborate with, and also learning who you don't want to collaborate with, and never accepting the money from them, right? And so yeah, I mean, the wealth of knowledge on LinkedIn, and also another social media platform. We made some awesome connections on Facebook as well, obviously, but more so LinkedIn. The wealth of knowledge on LinkedIn is super, super great, and you get to meet inspiring people like you, Matteo,
Thank you.
obviously, and it's just like amazing. So since I know, maybe to you and me, it becomes second nature, like networking and talking to people and collaboration and da 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 da. But to, I wouldn't want to say many business owners, but to a specific amount of business owners, they're lost. They just focus on growing their business, and they never look into collaborating. They never look into like, or maybe they don't know how to network, right? They don't know. They get lost in that way. Any tips on how to network like a pro? Like any tips on how to approach people, how to approach a deal, or how to approach like a mega $1 million deal? I know deep down people say people are people, people connect, but I mean, how to approach people to network. Do you have any tips on that? Because I think it's important.
Yeah. No, I think it's important. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm only doing what I'm doing because I I met people. Otherwise I would not be doing it. No, I would say definitely treat everyone with curiosity to start with. Just wanting to really uh, exchange value. I think that's the first thing. Whenever I meet somebody, the first word I use is help. So I hope to help you and your network. That's the way I start the
Ooh,
conversation.
nice.
So then the other magic word, as I say, is value, exchanging value. Exchanging value with each other. Now it doesn't mean anything strange here. It means from a conversation, from a chat, from a video I'm going to show you, you might get some value, and it should be reciprocal, really. And one of my advice is just start giving value before you receiving value, because that will be exponentially in your favor eventually.
Oh
If
yeah.
you're the first one who gives value, you will find that you will be so surprised receiving so much value from other, that you will be overwhelmed, because people think, oh wow, I didn't expect people to be so good to me. So yeah, I think that's the kind of attitude I would always advise everyone to have, really.
Oh, that's great. No, and it's very important. Like we're on the same page with that, Mateo, and most definitely, any advice on who to give value to, because there becomes this aspect on networking where it's happened to me maybe a couple of years ago, but right now I know how to pick and choose, right? How to give value to those who will appreciate it.
Well,
Any?
this is where yeah, we got the two biggest currencies that we own: um, time and energy. Okay. Now, energy, however, can be positive or negative. So we need to be very careful with that, because positive energy will eliminate negative energy. Okay. Will basically offset, well, basically will kill negative energy. However, if you let negative energy comes to you, you will have no positive energy. I know it sounds a bit too simple to say, but that's exactly what happened. So how do you choose the right people? Well, I think we need to really learn from the best here, and people like Steve Jobs, they say, well,
Oh yeah.
you need to learn from people. Just surround yourself with people who are potentially better than you at something. Yeah, that's what I do as well.
Perfect.
Yeah, I like
Wow.
to choose
Amazing.
somebody who is better. For example, the Jim Joyce that I met, is better than me in intellectual property. I'm learning from him. Probably things that I'm better than him at finance. So we exchange value to each other. And trust me, if you study how big companies become bigger, that's the kind of attitude they use. Think about Microsoft and Intel. Yeah, doing business together. Think
Oh yeah.
about Coca-Cola and the bottling distributor. Yeah, they exchange value with each other. They know that there is value to be gained from each other, and that's the same we should do as well as people. So let's choose those who are better than us as something that we would like to learn. So
Oh
that's
yeah.
very very simple sort of
Yeah.
very
That's so
simple
so true.
advice. Yeah.
Yes. So true. Yeah. Um, it's um, it's very apparent in the way that you talk and in the way that you converse with people that you get like a sense of the energy as well, right? The way they even DM, you get a sense of their energy as well. And so, I think, I think if you get a negative energy and you explore that more, maybe a chat wouldn't be so good, right? But if you get curiosity and you get all these things that you are saying, okay, green flag, check, check, check in your mind, okay? Well, maybe, yeah, let's get in the chat and get to know each other more, right? So
Well, we
yeah,
start we start as stranger, LinkedIn. To become a trusted person is not that easy, You have to convince somebody. So,
exactly. So wonderful. Great value. So what are your goals, Matteo? Um, I know that you have your hand in somewhat many cookie jars, right? Obviously.
yeah.
What are your goals for 2025? And also, what are your short-term goals to impact more people, to grow in wealth for yourself? Um, I know it's not all about money. Obviously, it's about the mission. But the more I view cash as a tool. I mean, the more cash flow that we're making, that's evidence of more impact that I'm having, right? So of course it's not all about money. It's all about collaboration. It's all about, and like you said, eventually people are going to trust you, invest in you, and stuff like that. So in terms of like goals for yourself, for wealth, and goals for yourself in more impact in growing businesses and growing your own businesses, what are some of those short-term goals and long-term goals that you have?
Well, I mean, the first thing I would like to do is actually something that I would like to give for free to as many people as possible, which is education, financial education through the exponential blueprint. Now, that's I'm so proud that that newsletter went from 0 to 29,000 subscribers. It's all free, so it's always going to be free. So that will be the first goal, to help as many people as possible with education. And also, they will subscribe to my newsletter for free. It's an email newsletter, yeah. So people will receive an email every week. Then obviously, yeah, if people prefer to watch video, they can watch me on YouTube as well, which is where I do a lot of content at the moment. Yeah, so those are the two main goals in 2025. Other than that, the rest is quite natural. It's about my profession, mergers and acquisition activity, which I'm doing for a particular business, and then also the activity connecting investors with entrepreneurs. So those are secondary objective. They come every day. It's part of my everyday life. It's part of my past, obviously,
That's
and it's
good.
also part of my present and my
Oh,
future.
awesome. That's
But
great, Mateo.
obviously, yeah, the newsletter, I would love to have as many people as possible subscribing because they will learn so much from it. And it's not just about me, it's about my network. Yeah. So, because, for example, yesterday we wrote about an entrepreneur who was successful with a journey of 12 years. Next week, I'm going to write about the superpower of intellectual property. So every week there's going to be something that reader will enjoy, and that will be my best goal for 2025. Really.
Wow, amazing. And, and yeah, I mean, like growing your social media, obviously, will allow you to reach more people and impact them more with your advice, right? So awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so Mark says, "What's your views on being experts to take away some of your responsibilities?"
So what's my view on being expert? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
To take away, well, so when you're an expert and you want some of your responsibility to be taken away, well, effectively, the best thing to do is to create leadership in your own business. Yeah. So effectively, uh, don't just bottle your knowledge and just keep it for yourself. Yeah. So always try and delegate. I mean, the biggest satisfactions in my career have always been when I've empowered other people to do what I do as well. There's no harm in people doing better than me and doing what I did before.
yeah.
I just love that because it makes my life so much better.
Oh
And then
yeah.
you go gratitude for life.
Oh
So
yeah.
so
Yeah,
that
big time.
there's always somebody who can do something better than you can do, and
Yeah.
you don't have to be upset if they do it. Actually, you have to be happy.
Yeah, exactly. And Mary's like, I'm glad to be. Well, Mary, we're glad to have you as a listener. Thank you so much for your message. Mateo is truly impactful, and I'm sure that he's glad that you're watching this as well. And, and for our viewers, thank you so much. And so here's Markin says, on extra takes part of your business to, yeah, exactly. And definitely it's all about like that, like taking parts of your business and delegating it to a team of experts or maybe possibly to your team. And it's just like the natural progression of scaling, right, Mateo? Like you said.
Yeah, I mean, when you it's like father to child. When you teach your child something, you feel so good about it. You feel like part of you is actually replicating someone else. Obviously, with father child is a very special relationship, of course. But the best leaders, they are the ones who really they really shaped other people to do well, to do as well as they could. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll just give you an example. Early in my career, there was, I remember it was a startup situation, startup within a big company. So there were so many offices. I used to run, because I speak French, Spanish, and Italian, I was running Madrid, Milan, and Paris from London. So what I was doing, I was actually recruiting receptionists who also do some accounting work, and in particular in Spain, where I used to go and speak Spanish every day. That was great. I was able really to transform a receptionist into a financial controller in 5 years. Now that was one of the biggest satisfaction in my career. If somebody tells me, "What are you proud of?"
Yeah.
I'm proud about people
Wonderful.
transforming themselves um, from what they would like to be to what they are.
Yeah.
So that's the transformation I love to do all the time. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So 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 I know it like you said, it's about. I've been talking all morning.
Okay.
Back to back calls this morning. So as you said, it's like leadership, right? And really transform. And the thing is, like, many of our clients, like the, I'd say about 99% of our clients are really good at leading us as well, because we take a huge portion off their plate, which is LinkedIn management, right? Obviously. And so they're good at leading us. We work with a lot of great leaders, and they're good at, okay, can you do this? Can you do that? And okay, no problem. But then clients, of course, with LinkedIn experts, we advise, we recommend, but of course, I mean, we're part of their team, right? And they're leading us, obviously. So it's like the probably maybe from 2 to 5% of clients that canceled their service with us, just for an example, didn't know how to lead us. Uh, we, we, we were doing our thing, we got results, but then they they wouldn't communicate with us. It was like a constant chase to get them, and so it was like a headache for us. We're like, we need this, we need that, and then just like it's like you're working with us, why ghost us, right? So so it's like the communication barrier. We were being trying to be communicative, but they just closed up shop and they didn't, and so those clients went away. But now the people that we're finding continually know how to lead us because they view us as their team, like under them, as their team, as a branch of them. And so even for our business, it really makes a difference if our client views, okay, you are like, me and Mark, we're like, okay, you are our leader, you are our client, we're getting results for you, please direct us. Although we we do a lot. We're the experts. We're the LinkedIn marketing experts, obviously, and we can grow your business. But please be communicative with us and lead us, in the way that you want your LinkedIn to be directed. So yeah, you're absolutely right about like leadership and so on. So any tips or leadership, like some valuable leadership tips that you have to lead your team to success as well, when we're on the topic there?
Yeah, I would say there are some traits that are common to really good leadership. One thing to note is that you do not learn leadership at school, really. Um, you learn leadership when
Oh yeah,
not from the
yeah,
book for sure. Um, I would say yes. Yeah, I mean that's really the truth.
that's
Yeah,
true.
many people they think, oh, I need to learn how to be a leader. It's not that easy. However, if there are some characteristics that you really want to display all the time, it's they're really important. Really, I mean, first of all, integrity and authenticity. Really, they are really my top two. But I would say this: in our life, we go through so many stages. That things happen to us, we react to them. That happens all the time. What I would say, the biggest tip I can give to anyone who wants to become a really good leader is learn to have the desire, strong desire to discover yourself, because you never stop.
Oh
Because
yeah,
you're gonna discover
that's so true.
something. I mean, you discover something about you today. I discover
Yeah.
something about me today.
Oh,
If
good.
you if if you enjoy
Yeah,
if you enjoy this process,
yeah,
you are more likely to become a good leader. Yeah.
yeah,
If instead you are afraid of what's going to happen to you, are you going to react to something, you're going to be filled with negative energy. That's not going to make you a good leader. So I would say this: Have a strong desire, strong desire to discover more about yourself every minute.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, well, thank you so much, Mateo. We have Mary's support about you here. You're a good leader, sir. And yeah, Mateo has many years of leading experience, and he's always willing to strive to improve. And, and I think that's key too. It's like always strive to improve. And just like you said, right? Like recapping what you said, look for those who are better at you in some aspects. It doesn't have to be all aspects, but in aspects that you need to improve on. And so it's like you sharpen each other, right?
Hmm.
And so that creates an awesome collaboration. So thank you so much for your time, Mateo. Hopefully, the Social Tagger can collaborate with you in some way, shape, or form. If you're open to that in the future, we'd love to collaborate with you and see what kind of magic we can work as well. And any final words to our listeners today? Anything that very important that they need to figure out for themselves, perhaps?
Oh, what I would say is, especially if you're talking about LinkedIn in particular, yeah. Uh, my advice is really enjoy the process that starts from being a stranger to be a trusted person. Learn to help first, give first without being asked. Yeah. So that's the biggest fault, and that will work wonders all the time. So that's my biggest advice for everyone.
Oh yeah,
So don't try and engineer something that
very
you
deep.
cannot offer. Just be open, be frank, be authentic. Use your own words that comes from the bottom of your heart all the time. Don't try and pretend to be someone else. Be yourself, and other people will definitely love to know you. They will trust you, and from a stranger, you will become a trusted person. The other thing I would like to say, yes, I mean, if you like to be in touch with me, my newsletter is the Exponential Blueprint. It's called Exponential because it's about creating exponential results for people, really. So, and I'm looking to actually develop it into a few other branches because each business phase is different. So we're looking to start five different type of segment, like the exponential startup, exponential scale up, exponential exit, stagnation and crisis. But obviously, those are things that will come in future. For now, yes, I love it. People would read and
Yeah.
uh, would would enjoy, and perhaps those who read, if they want to read, obviously, telling me what they want me to write about. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's not about me. It's about those who like to read, of course. Yeah.
Okay, so just let me put that link down below here. It's an exponential blueprint, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, I just
Yeah. You'll
found
find the
it here.
link on my
Yeah,
LinkedIn profile. Yeah. It's just there.
got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the exponential blueprint is down below. Please subscribe to it. Um, I'm going to subscribe to it right now because it's something like we are continuously trying to improve. And the more business owners, the more people that you reach, the better, because then you get a wealth of knowledge from every way, shape, or form from across the globe. So thank you so much, Matteo, for your advice. I think many people would really, really identify with this. And let's just end with your words, right? Declare war on business failure.
Yes. The exponential blueprint is a declaration of war against business failure.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Mateo, and thank you for our listeners. I will get the recording to you. If you want the recording of this, please let me know. Although it is going to be on my LinkedIn, so you can see the replay then. But if you want your own personal copy, please message either Mateo or myself, and we'll forward it to you right away. Thanks so much, Mateo. Next week, next couple of weeks, we're going to have branding coaches, we're going to have scaling coaches, we're going to have um, people, incredible people in like with Russell Brunson's team, and just like amazing, amazing people. So keep in touch with the Social Tiger Talks, and of course, Mateo, we would love to have you on another time to talk more about what you do and how you're impacting people as well.
It'll be a
Uh,
pleasure.
Thanks so much, and have a great afternoon.